I went away to college and early on realized that I was not an academic and was more a visually driven person. The first class I took was photography, and that stuck with me, and I've been doing it ever since. I share the space with my daughter India. We had applied together. Her background is in film and video and collaborating with dancers. She primarily uses the studio for editing and for pulling projects together because what she's doing is out in the world.
So I'm shooting for them. There's 2 shooters and there's 3 dancers. And it'll become like a live production that has projections.
To have a place gives what you're doing a certain importance and a place that you can focus your energy that's different than if you have a studio in the back of your apartment. I do long-term projects of a place. For many years, I just keep photographing the same place and going back to it over and over. It started in Philadelphia. I began photographing the neighborhood, Old City, and in particular the waterfront in 1980, which was mostly at that time pretty decrepit and deserted. And the bridge was right there, and it gravitated to more and more trying to understand the bridge, mostly on the Philadelphia side. I went from that to Berlin, which was much more challenging because you had to understand and deal with the history. I went from there into 12 years going back and forth to the Cape Cod National Seashore. And then I fell in love with Venice. I'm sort of adapting to the fact that I'm in the public now, where several of the artists here were already fully engaged with the public at different levels. If the goal of your work is for it to be seen, it's nice to be in a place like this. And I'm happy to be down here, just to be on the water and to be in this environment that I sort of know a lot of history of, have a lot of images in my mind. So it just seemed like a very natural progression. We're just getting settled in enough that we're starting to talk about collaborations, which I think is something the Pier would like to see happen, and those of us that are in this situation would like to take advantage of. I would love to collaborate with Adam downstairs, who works with composers and musicians. I mean, when would I have even met Adam?
Absolutely, and the experience here at Cherry Street Pier is the idea of reaching new audiences, new music in new places and new ways. You know, when they were talking about having farmers markets with art pop-ups, music pop-ups, I knew this was exactly what we needed to do to reach a much more diverse audience. Orchestra 2001 formed in 1988. It was based at Swarthmore College, and at that point in the year 2001 seemed way, way in the future. The name is obviously derived from Stanley Kubrick's Space Odyssey. Most of the music we play is from the 20th and more the 21st century. So a lot of living composers, a lot of local Philadelphia composers. The genre is contemporary classical music. That's the umbrella. It's classical music of our day. More and more now, we are setting up a mechanism where composers come to us and work here, right here in our studio at Cherry Street Pier. We've set up something called the Composer at Work window, where they will actually be in this room, in this studio, doing their craft, making their art, just like all of the other artists here on the pier. People walk by and they look at the screen and they see this music coming up and they say, what is he doing? And then they're invited back to hear our musicians rehearse the music. Our musicians are an adventurous collective of players, top freelance players from all over Philadelphia. Sometimes we might just be 1 or 2 players, and other times, recently we put on a concert with over 70 musicians, a full symphony orchestra right out here on the Cherry Street Pier. And we've made a commitment here at Cherry Street Pier to do all free concerts. We're hoping that this storefront approach, just like the other artists in this market, will help us raise funds, sort of micro commissions, micro donations to pay for all of these projects that we're doing here. We've played all over the area, both indoors and outdoors. We played the first concert at the perimeter of the Barnes Museum on the Parkway. We played at Bartram's Gardens, we played on the Race Street Pier, and we've played a variety of locations around town. Orchestra 2001 has traveled overseas 11 times. When you go to a concert, you're used to seeing the finished product, but here you will have sort of an insider's view of everything from the first germs of collaboration, rehearsal, the composer sitting in our window actually writing music, and also learning how music is funded. It's been really exciting to bring Philadelphia artists and Philadelphia composers to the world.